Alright, today we're going to be looking at Minutesix, playing on Lijiang Tower, starting off on Winston here. We have Kiri Lucio, and we also have our Tracer player keeping us out with the Symmetra, so that means we're going to be able to dive quickly. We have people to follow, and we should be able to stage initially with the teleport. Alright, let's roll the film. So we're going this top right. Ignore that. So we go to the top right, and they have this far on the outside, and then they have the rest of their team playing on point to the left here. So what we need to do is focus on pushing out this far. Now this is not necessarily the Winston's job, but perhaps the job of this Tracer here, push out this Pharah, and then with their team rotating on point, obviously there's only a few positions that they're probably playing, so we need to be looking to scout and set up for our dive. So if Pharah gets pushed out, when here we are looking for a dive. We take an initial short jump to get some positioning here. Then we control the space on the outside, both left and right. Now, so far with this comp, just the Winston here, and then we can also see our Tracer is in on the back here. We want to look for timing with our leap and our bubble. Now, our leap is on 2-second cooldown or 3-second cooldown, and we have our bubble. So what we want to do is try and poke out this tank a little bit and see if we can scout where some of these guys are. You know, are they playing over here? Are they playing over here? Or are they playing over here? We need to gather information. So we're looking on the right side, trying to look, and we see a ping here that we go on. Not a ping of a player, but a ping nonetheless. This gets us to the Cassidy. Let's get the bubble off. Unfortunately, there's a few players over here. It's not coordinated with the Tracer, so we get punished for it. So, the question of how we play this fight better. Well, we could have gotten more information, taken some more time to look as well too. While waiting for the jump cooldown, we could have poked the Ramatra right here. Just get free value. Obviously, it's not high priority damage to be shooting the Ramatra, but it does pressure him, and it forces his healers to come out and heal him, and that could expose them to then getting dived on. And also, just make sure we engage with our Tracer into a comp like that. Slow. Alright, let's go to the next fight. So we swap to D.Va. This is some good counterplay for 3 of the characters here. Now, Pharah's really good with D.Va's really good into the Pharah. And the Cassidy, obviously these two both have abilities that D.Va can eat. And it's also good into the Kiriko because D.Va can eat the Suzus as well. So that's one thing we want to look for, is the only healing they have that goes through the D.Va matrix is this Lucio. Right, so we're going to try and look for engages where we can kill someone away from the Lucio and eat the healing. And as well, Ramatra's, as D.Va, we don't have anything that really brawls well with the Ramatra, so we want to avoid fighting him and fight the other guys. Alright, let's watch. We're F10. So we initially start left here, and our action is hit late. So we're just kind of brawling. We don't want to... Oh, that was very... Okay, that was... Will let me go back. Okay, will let me go back. We're just brawling. And it gets even, right? We get a pick on the cast. And this Pharah is over on this right side. Supports are running to try and help her. And Ramatra is over here on the back right. I like this idea to go over here, or even we could look for the supports here, but the Pharah is low health. we go to cut off the health pack. Actually get the timing around us. The rest of our team is rotated to point. One thing here is Farah is still above us here. She's actually like right above us here, and she's launched 2 rockets into us. So we need to be careful that we don't let the Farah disappear, especially when these are a lot of rockets, and to pressure her as well. And you see, if we lose our mech, it's mostly because we took a lot of total damage from that Farah. So fortunately, flip the point, get the trade on the Kiriko, trade on the Ramatra, trade on the Cass. Fight is really good for us. Alright, on to the next fight. So one thing important with the D.Va into the Ramatra here is this Ramatra will get a lot of value if he can get to the back line. And what we want to do is sort of like get in the way and intercept his ability to get into the back line. This can be done in 2 ways. The easiest way is damage, right? Ramatra has a lot of health, but even in Nemesis form, if you surround him, right, if we have people shooting him from both sides, he can't block both sides at the same time, and therefore he will die really quick. And 2, physical, the physicality of the tank character, right? Different teams collide, so you can physically get in the way of where he wants to be, either forcing him to shoot you, or like he can't walk past you if you are standing in his way. Okay, we're starting on low ground. And the thing I want to be wary of is this sort of like space we give here, where we give a corner up to the Ramatra so easy, right? We were standing on this corner, but we back up to this sort of area, so now they're really able to walk through for free. And they go with this speed boost, we're on the tracer, force recall, and now look how this Ramatra is able to really, you know, he's able to very easily go from here to here then because of there's no pressure being applied to him. So we get forced out, and our target call is obviously on this pass. Okay. We get him. Let's just go down. Fortunately, it looks like the team will clean up this fight. Alright, let's watch our... So we're coming back to the fight. There's just a tracer on point, she's leaving. Lucia's coming in with the Cass. So we want to go this Lucia with our tracer. Get him. Cass now. DM for our tracer. So DM, we get out. So now this is like the same sort of thing where we need to find ways to prevent the Ramatra from going. Little late on eating the E, but that's okay. But the problem is here, this Ramatra is able to walk through this doorway really for free, right? And now let's see which way he walks. So he's able to get through this other door for free now. So he's gotten from this door, kite this way, now to this door for free. And now he's informed. So we respond with the bomb to sort of fend off his aggression. However, just with Ramatra, especially since he has Nemesis, he's really not scared of bombing, right? He can right click. So it's not something he's scared of. So he's able to punish. I think the way to have better used this D.Va bomb is to, well, number one, we need to make sure they don't push through these 2 doors for free. Always sort of try and match the tank, but then also use it when your mech dies, and to either stall out or like if the fight's still winnable and you just lose mech, use it when your mech dies. That's the most effective way in my book of using that. We go down. And now the real problem is that in this fight they just used Ramatra ult to win the fight, so now they have a total of 3 ults and 3 ults. So they have a major ult advantage coming into this next fight. Now we're looking left here, and the team decides to go right. Can force out Tracer. We're able to take a lot of space here. Now the one thing I will mention is this Ramatra is sort of out of position here. And the way we can punish this is by you pushing forward here, this aggression is sending the rest of his team back. And now what we can do is we can come and surround this Ramatra. And if we get angles all around him, then we would be able to kill him. And then it prevents him from being able to kill any of our back line. See him? The angles all around him. Or well, we failed to surround him, so he gets out. Go back to our support for healing, which is good. Now the problem is we're stuck in this small room. We need to take more space. So the Ramatra's on left. And he goes to back line. We go in with our Tracer, we get the Kiri. But they keep making the pass. Now, the problem is that, once again, the Ramatra was able to go, he starts the fight here. He's able to go all the way over here. And then now he's coming back even more. So we need to look for, I don't know, it was a good dive, but we also need to look for ways to disrupt the Ramatra as well, especially when the Ramatra is getting lots of value, like killing both supports in the fight. Fight's not over. We look for trade on the cast is very good. So Lijiang, get him, and now it is a 2v2. So this is an example where if we saved our Diva Bomb for earlier, say we haven't used it and we have it now, we have our Diva Bomb now, right? We aren't so worried about losing our mech with 219 HP here. We'd be able to go to point and bomb there and have a chance of winning this fight, especially when our Tracer is so low HP. So Tracer goes down and we go towards point. And now we're fighting in overtime down a tank. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do well for us. Alright, that's how round 1 went. Let's get to round 2. Alright, for the second submap here, we're on Ramatra. We're TPing out with the Tracer again. TP out. So we should be able to get priority in this room, and we do. We want to try and stand here or here and really control this doorway and make sure no enemies can get through it. As well on Ramatra, whoopsies. On Ramatra, generally as a principle, okay. We want to try and look, our lethality as Ramatra comes from a combination of our form and our slow, right? If we want to get kills, we want to be able to save both of these and then use them to find an opportunity to get a kill. And I think that's what I'll focus on for the Ramatra gameplay, is how we use these two abilities. Obviously, Shield is good for holding space. It's definitely used as a pure tanking ability. But I think that the slow should be saved for the form, so we can look for maximum aggression and kill potential. So here we go, poking, we take the aggressive early shield, and what we have done in the last few seconds here is we have used all of our abilities. We use the shield, then the slow, then the form right away. So what this means is that the enemies can just, the point is not unlocked, it doesn't unlock for 17 seconds. So the enemies are really able to just sit on the back foot, and we aren't able to punish with any aggression because we are running the Baptiste and the Lucio. The Baptiste and Lucio, obviously, the Baptiste can't follow as much as the Kiriko does. So on aggressive pushes, there's less immediate healing. It takes longer for the map to rotate. But then once you get those positions, you can stay to them longer. But then also retreating takes longer as well. So it's just a little bit of a comp with less mobility, but more importantly, more damage. So now it's their turn to use their ability. The Ramatra slow, they use the Ramatra form. So our goal should be trying to stay alive during kiting. So we kite back, we're able to get the slow, comes off cooldown, we're able to slow down the Ramatra. We get around the corner, importantly. Shield again. And so now we have form, we got 5 seconds on the slow. So we want to use these to try and find a kill and pressure on the enemies. So we go server, we go first with our form. And this is why it's so important, or it can be so important to try and wait a few seconds for your slow. Because here, if we have our slow, we're able to throw it right here. Now you always want to think when you slow enemies, what way are they retreating? Well, these guys want to retreat this way. They want to retreat this way. So you want to put it in the path where they are retreating, right? So you put it right there. So then their options are to walk this way, or walk this way. These two aren't good for them because you're punching, and then this way isn't good for them because their tracer's coming from this way. So she would be able to punish them. So we get good pressure on the Lucio. And we use our slow on the Genji and Ramatra here. I would guess it would be for like trying to kite for our supports. But I think priority should be just shooting those two first and then seeing how that works. Alright. So here, it's their turn with form. We just have to chill. And it's important to note that they also captured the point while we're doing this. They captured the point because we played server. They're able to cap the point while we retain the relative high ground advantage. Now, here's what I'm talking about with the kill potential. Here we get the slow on the Lucio, and we have form. So now we're able to aggress. And let's watch the damage we're able to get on him with this then. 1, 2, boom, he's dead, just like that. That's all that takes is just that that little bit of slow from like here to here. And he's dead, just like that. Important to note, at the same time, Tracer gets traded, but with a Lucio kill, that's far more important than the Tracer. So as long as Ramatra were able to deny their Ramatra value, and survive their cooldown, we should have advantage to win.
Securing this objective.
So we force Suzu out. We get a lot of value from pressuring the Kiriko. We force her to TP. And that's all very good pressure. We come back, punch the Ramatra, kill him. We force Kiriko to TP again. And we're able to secure the fight. Kenji's on his post. We pressure him out. Of course, we take the health pack. Now we see Cass up here. It's a close fight, so we don't want him to take this position, so we push him. Say, no, you can't stand here. Slow him. And that's another case of maybe slowing where he wants to go, right? We sort of throw the slow at him, but if we're thinking about throwing the slow, if we could imagine his path where he wants to go, throw it where he wants to go. So we throw it down the steps there, we're able to kill him then. Just with the primary fire. Alright, so now we have our tracer is back, our Genji is dead, and we are set up in this server room area. Now our BAP is playing up here, our Cass is playing up here. The important thing with playing up here is we still need to be able to find ways to fight the Ramatra, and also our team can't help too far past this, right? We don't want to push too far past this, but for sure not past this second area over here. It is very hard to push here without someone coming from this way, right? If we're just in the server area and we don't have anyone clearing here, then this space is all safe for them. This space is all safe for them. Behind this pillar is safe for them, for the enemies. So we want to wait for them to push into our kill zone, and prevent them from pushing. So here, once again, we trade their Ramatra shield for all 3 of our cooldowns. This means in about 3 seconds, right, their Ramatra is going to be able to push very aggressively. So let's see what happens. We push super aggressively, trying to find the Cass Tracer, but at this point, right, look at how far back they are. We need to say, okay, we pushed them out, we need to go back and we need to go retake our position. We pushed them out, and now their Ramatra is in form. Right, it is their turn to go. And to their Ramatra, he's got the alt, right? At this point, we're getting low HP, and the reason for the low HP is because from this position that we're playing right here, the Baptiste has to rotate here instead of playing like this. This back position has to rotate up to this position, and this position is hard because Baptiste is like committed to this right side. But if anyone needs help on this left side, it cannot help at all. Okay, let's continue watching. So now our form is about expired. We retreat the main way, which has our Lucio Cass, but does not have our Baptiste, right? So we come in from one way, but we leave another way. And so we're, like, it's very hard to get abilities like immortality, right? Immortality is late. Not even late. There's it's used all the way back here. Oh wow, that is unlucky. It doesn't And so in that fight, by going all in, by using all 3 abilities, and just the way we were playing the map, they're able to just trade a Ramatra alt for our positioning. Or they're able to trade a Ramatra alt for a fight win, which is very, very efficient for them. We'd want them to at least like alt 1 or 2 more for a fight win like that. Alright, so now we're walking out, shield early, and we see all these people on this left here, so naturally we go to slow right away. This is a very good slow. Cass goes for a high noon. Punch him. Good block on him. Unfortunately, we get that one guy. So we get a good ult in. We'll punch this Ramatra. He's stuck. Then we're able to support. Now this is a good target call here. To turn on the Lucio, which was all there to follow. We get on this Q, which is also very good. Slow her, it's very nice. All very good target calls here. Concentrated fire together is all very good. So here now we're set up in this right room again. So we have our Cass, our BAP playing here, and then our Tracer is off on this side angle. So once again, we have no one on this left side here, so we have no pressure on this angle. So we have to be very careful of how we want to retreat them. So they use their Ramatra shield early. We use R2, and we aggressively slow here. We look for the form right away then, and they Kitsune. So at this point, they Kitsune, they boop, they Suzu. I think it's fair enough to say, hey, we got our value, we need to retreat. because staying in the Kiriko is not going to be very advantageous for us. As well, too, it's hard for the team to follow right down these staircases because just with how limited these sightlines are, it's very hard to follow. Um, for aggressive push, maybe we should have pushed from like this way, whole team like staying here, because this way we are sort of like weirdly cut off. Cast is high nooning, I help them, but now they all get together, they target call, we separate ourselves, like we get separated because we aren't picking a side of that. And now they've used 2 ults to say, you guys win the fight. Or they use 3 ults, right? So that's at least the kind of cost we want them, the all cost we want out of the fight. So I put that as like that fight was okay for us then. So here we shield, second slightly better shield. They're playing this left side again. So we could look for a slow to punish this Ramacha right here, a slow right here, right? Would force a cooldown out of him since he wants to go this way. Additionally, if we were like here early and we saw like a Cass or a Genji here, we can slow here. Then because they have no line of retreat, there's just the slow. So we out this Ramacha and then Tracer unfortunately goes down. We almost trade Genji, but we at least force Suzu, we force shield. So now, since we're down our Tracer, we're just gonna have to wait for them. Keep poking. Alright, so our Tracer is back. And now specifically, we really want to look for this like wide left angle. When I say wide on this subpoint of Lijiang, I refer to like this entrance, right? Because it's big and wide. And the reason we would want to do that is we have Cassidy and we have Baptiste, right? And these guys specialize in the long range engagements, right? We don't want the short, they have the short range stuff. They have Suzu, they have Genji. So they want, you know, they should actually be the ones fighting for server, but they're fighting for wide instead. So we should challenge them in the wide room, and especially since we have window, so we know for sure we can beat them on the poke battle. So we get a good slow on the Lucio, go for form. We're not able to get a kill out of that. Pressure on the Genji, and the Lucio does get killed by the window. So if we cap point, this is window. That's an efficient fight when we want that. We're looking for punishes on anyone else. We get reflect, we get form out. So we're able to trade cooldowns for cheap. And also our HP is at 330, so we need to look to back here before the cooldown. I can't believe I survived that skip. Anyways, for that fight, we force cooldowns and stuff, but we followed them so far that they're able to get a Kitsune rush, and it's hard for us to leave. So they're able to punish us, and even with the Ramacha alls, we needed to try and kite and speed back to point. Obviously we don't. They kill us. They make it 96, and there's just no way to touch. So for this submap, the focuses were where to neutral. Neutral. And this is like, you know, do we want to do server or do we want to go this wide area? And number 2, engagements. Engagements. So we want to look for engages with our slow and our form, and then we want to make sure where we engage from is a place, like where are we engaged from? Is this a good place to engage from? Are we able to retreat back through it, or should we engage from this way? Because then we're able to retreat more naturally. Alright, on to the next sub-map. Alright, for our third sub-map, we're rolling out on the Winston here. We're going for a left engage on this bridge. Now, things we're looking for here, we have our Tracer, we have our Winston. We're going to want to look for bubble engages together. And as well, we have the Lucio and the Kiriko, so they are able to follow, and we are able to flip with our supports able to commit on our dives. Alright, let me roll the gameplay. So, here we go for an aggressive first jump, right? And the thing with this jump is we're jumping in and we have no info yet. Now as we land here, we get info. There's a whole ton of them here, so we're like, oh crap, I need my bubble, right? So, I'm thinking how we should approach this fight, and I don't know if we want to immediately pop our jump so early, especially when we could walk over to this pillar first, and we want to see, right? It's very hard to engage without information, right? And two, he shields off right away. So let's watch the cooldown trade here. Bubble slows, he forms, right? So he uses everything on this. So then our focus needs to be on getting out and surviving. And now we jump to this pillar that we could have started at. But the question was, is this pillar far enough? Right? Ram is right there again. So we get RC4s, we get on this left side here, but like we've lost enough health. We've lost enough health in space that we lose the fight. Let's get to the next fight. Alright, so they have a lot of people poking from the left side. They have Forest, so we need this right engage. Here we're setting up ourselves well. We're setting ourselves up in a different location. We're forcing out our Matra, and we're able to wrap around here with our Tracer, right? So we immediately see this Lucio, we see this cast. We decide to go in on Lucio, got our bubble, and we're able to get the kill done, right, with our cast. So this is a very good start. And we also know our Tracer is in the back line, so we wanna look for dives with them as well. Here we see a ping on the Kiriko, our Tracer's on him, go call him, beautiful dive. Archer comes in, so now we can be really committed. Get the cast, and then Ramatra falls too. Very nice. We staged, we found good dives. We doubled down with our Tracer and our Kiriko, and we were able to go in and flip the map on them. Now our Tracer dies here first, which is unfortunate. So we want to, if our Tracer dies first, there's a few things we can do. We can either, one, we can go aggressive. I'll do just a little A for that. We can go aggressive and look for trades, right? And two, we can play passive, right? So the pro to playing aggressive would be, hey, their far is on right side, you know, these guys are going to be 4. We can try and take a 4-on-4 here with these guys and see if we can get any trades to put ourselves in a better position for next fight. Or since we have similar percentages on the board, we can say, hey, let's die on point, let's get our percentage up the maximum amount and play very passive. We meet them on the bridge here. Ramachi is shielded right away. Block the slow, but the bubble gets destroyed very quick. But we force out Suzu, we force out Flash, and Ramform is right here. Now, this is going to be a very important decision here. Ramatra has a lot of health. He has this position on you, and there's several people over on the right here. So we have several people looking at us, and we only have 431 HP, and we have 7 seconds on our next bubble cooldown. The smart decision here is probably to either retreat to point and have our Kiri teleport, or retreat back over to this area and wait for a bubble cooldown and look for an engage again, since they have no resources. As well, we could we could try and say, you know, I'm a tank, let's ignore this Ramatra damage and try and stuff this right side again. Now the best way to stuff this right side again, since we're so close to it, would probably be to just walk over here and try and damage, right? With all of them there. And now we Kitsune, right? So we should be very confident in holding this position, right? We see our Kiriko's looking over here. We see a lot of attention from our team looking here. So they're going to be able to help us, and we're going to be able to push back this ram, and we want to try and hold them here in this area, right? But even though we're right here, we look for another jump over in this area. Now, it's important to note we're 3 seconds off our bubble cooldown. And obviously we use our leap, which is our only way to get out. This leap is probably fine if we wait for our 3-second bubble cooldown, especially in the Kitsune rush, right? It charges faster. So it'd be something like 2.5 seconds, you know. But then that gives us the ability to live, especially when we know our tracer is dead. Go in, but we get blown up, right? Because there are still just 4 people here. Oh, and there's a forest shooting, right? If we're able to walk up here instead, we walk here. We're able to have our bubble in 3 seconds. We have that, and then we have our shift to get out too as well. And especially with the Kitsune Rush, we have a lot of prio here, but we have to be careful with how we play that, just because they our tracer was still dead, and they had like 4 people over here. Alright, on to the next fight. That guy go. Alright, we're coming back from spawn here. They're capping point. We get a good leap through the window here. Maximum install time. Our bubble. Good. So now here in this fight, they have a lot of ults. We're coming on a lot of ults too. We're looking for a legend again. We go for the same jump spot. Now this is even better, right? Because we're able to pull utility out of the cast. Here he's able to TP to us. And we see this Pharah coming for the flank barrage. Absolutely face tank this one and save our Cassidy. That was a very good play, very heads up play. Just spot the Pharah and go punish. The Ramatra goes in aggressive, so now we need to look at ways to help our team here. So obviously our cast gets done for, but we can look for trades onto this Lucio and this carry. Get a lot of value after get our primal. And so now with our primal here, we need to look at what target we want to go. We see this Lucio, right? But obviously he's going to be like very hard to juggle. So we can go for him, but we can also try and go for the Cass and the Kiriko. We see the Cass, and I think he's the correct target for the him. Get him with the Tracer. Tracer comes in, but he gets beat up. So we want to keep targeting him. Target him with our Tracer. Get him, and since we were able to all together as a team come over here, that's how we're able to play aggressively. We all commit on these dives, and that's how we're able to get the kills. So now we just need to turn on the mantra. Oh, crazy move I said. We just gotta get the Pharah, and boom, point is ours. So here we just want to look for poke, and for importantly too, we also want information. We want to know which ways they are going. Let's get some poke in, and we're able to get the cast early. So now we can look for an aggressive dive. You see the Pharah, of course, character teleporting away, looking for Pharah again. Of course, a lot of stuff out of the ground. Of course, it's going for Suzu. Pharah gets 1 health. Unfortunately, not able to get the kill. Now we look to back up a little bit. Now we get another kill on them, so it's time to go again. We get the correct jump, right? We wanted to jump this area because they wanted to go this way. So very good jump here. Right on Lucio. Bubble denies a lot of value to them. Mafara. Kitsune Rush. Don't look at where that one was. I'm not part of that one. We get the pass speed. And then I don't know if we get so he's 69 HP. And our jump is cut off by the bridge, so we die. Yeah, so I think the aggressive dives with the whole team is how we're able to secure this third round, and leveraging the Kiriko teleport to dive in and have Kiri follow through with Lucio was our key to success. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know if this type of content is useful. Yeah.